All right, so I've been waiting to talk about this. This was easily, if you see my top 10 movies of 2025, this was one of my favorite movies of the year. I'm so irritated that this did not get a theatrical release for at least a couple weeks. Was Guillermo Del Toro's Frankenstein, a book from Mary Shelley. This book was about 200 years old at this point. It's had hundreds of adaptations, and some of the more famous ones being early in the 19th century, right? But this adaptation feels special. This adaptation feels raw, like, and I think because this is my first time seeing an adaptation of Frankenstein where he looks exactly or at least partly described how he looks in the book. Now, me, I think he still looked a little too clean. Like if when I'm picturing what I hear from the book, I'm picturing flesh is just kind of nasty looking and worn, and it's even probably got some underflesh showing. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I envision it. But I do love their approach to it. I like the fact that over time he kind of grows some hair. No, I mean, oh, makeup wise, this movie should win. This movie should win for makeup. Like it is extravagant. Also, a plus on Guillermo del Toro for saying he wanted sets, he wanted practical effects, he wanted contraptions built, everything. This movie was so fun to watch. Just watching them interact with stuff, and it didn't look like they had to fake it. Oscar Isaac was really sawing at some nasty old silicone body parts that they constructed for the movie, and that whole montage looked so much fun. It looked like so much fun watching it actually rain or wherever they found the buildings at, and whenever they built the sets to look like Frankenstein's lab, the ship, and where they held Frankenstein when he was first created. Where they held the monster when he was first created is quite possibly some of the coolest sets I've seen in modern films today. It just they just stood out. They popped. They were there. You knew they were really in those rooms, feeling those moments. Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein is probably some of the most perfect casting I've gotten from him in a long time. Him as Dr. Frankenstein was so it was a great performance. One of my favorite performances of the year. And even if he doesn't win, I would like him to get nominated. I hope he can, because if he doesn't, that's going to feel like an ass bite. Jacob Elordi as the creature is fantastic. He's so fantastic. Like he was just born. It's like he was born to be Frankenstein almost. He's so damn good. Like capturing that mysterious, but that something's missing, but that body movements, the like the overall emotion you can see in the creature, but he can't put it out there. And Lordy just does such a great job. Now, me personally, I would have loved to see what this had turned out like if it was Andrew Garfield, because that was originally supposed to be the choice, but Andrew Garfield had to drop out for something. I think something's conflicting with this. But Jacob Elordi is a great recast, and he's also like 6'6", and I always pictured the monster being a little more like over everyone, whereas Andrew Garfield's like 5'10". So, but Andrew Garfield is an amazing actor too. So this would have been good either way, one of the two. You know what I mean? Mia Goth puts on a really good performance as Elizabeth. I thought Mia Goth was really good. It was cool seeing Christoph Waltz for a little bit. It was just a great time, and I know it's just kind of like the book where it kind of lags a little bit. It was also really violent too. Like the violence was really like insane. Like I'm watching the movie, I'm like, damn, this is snapping. I mean, most of the violence, if not all the violence, is from the creature, but the violence is so cool. Like I've never seen wolves get killed like this before. I was like, these wolves is dying, bro. I was happy. Not that they were. It was just cool to see like Guillermo del Toro never skips on the violence, bro. Let's be honest. So something that does change from the book, because it's not a complete faithful adaptation, but it's a really good one. Is Dr. Frankenstein's brother's a little more involved? I know in the book he's really only involved in some like a flashback at the beginning, and then you don't really hear from him again. But the movie kind of kept him around a little bit. Not a dumb decision, pretty good decision. And that's pretty much it. I mean, like for the most part, I mean, probably some other things, but I haven't read the Frankenstein book in a long time. But it is. I think Mary Shelley would be proud of this one. I think Mary Shelley would really like how this turns out, how this goes. It's just I don't even know how it is. I'd say this was definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. If you saw my top 10 movies list, it was in there. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's like I would describe this movie as like beautifully melancholy. Like it's sad because you want to feel bad for the creature, but it's beautiful because of the way it looks, the way the story's presented, some love aspects, some father son dynamics between the doctor and the creature, but then that hate, that feeling of betrayal when he leaves them to die, and the search, the rage, the raw power. Like the movie just does all of these things in the most incredible way that only Guillermo Del Toro could have pulled off, man. That's the thing I'm saying. So like when you see this movie, if you haven't already, please see Frankenstein. It is such a good movie. If it's not your kind of thing, look, man, it can't be for everybody, right? You know what I mean? But again, should this movie get nominated for some Oscars? I definitely think it should get nominated for set, production, and makeup. 100%. And I do think Oscar Isaac should be nominated. Hell, maybe even Jacob Elordi. They both should be nominated. They're both fantastic. And why this movie wasn't released in theaters longer, I don't know. Because I would have sat in the theaters. I would have saw this bitch in IMAX if I could have. So that being said, though, let me know how y'all feel about it down below. Let's get the conversation started. Like, subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all on the next one.